We're going to talk today about building better relationships with resident families. Can you just talk about, first off, how important family relationship management is to your organization?
It's very important. We see it as an extension of patient and resident care, so we treat it as important as any system that we have in our facility.
What kind of systems do you use now to measure success, what you're doing right, wrong, maybe how you'll improve things moving forward?
Well, the system that we use that I take the most pride in is our Circle of Care program, and that is basically a setting expectation program right at the front end of an admission, where we get together with the entire team who is going to be taking care of that resident, starting with the social worker, the director of nurses, the activities coordinator, and we meet with the family and we set expectations for that patient's stay throughout his entire stay. And then you asked about measurement, and we measure our success by how we do on our customer satisfaction surveys. We use My Interview to measure that success. We also measure success through the number of lawsuits that we might have in a facility. If we have fewer lawsuits, we know we must be doing a good job. We also measure through survey results. And we also measure through employee satisfaction surveys, because I think by having happy residents, happy employees, you have a happy family in the continuum of the entire building.
Now, who owns this issue inside the facility? Is it an activities director, marketing staff?
No, I think who owns it in the building, it starts with the admissions process, but then the social worker takes it over from there and leads the Circle of Care program. And then everyone else is involved, like you mentioned. We bring dietary in, we bring the therapists in, we even bring maintenance in, but because we set expectations for the entire stay, anything that patient may need.
Do you have a special maybe effort with people who have experienced a lot of, say, falls or dementia cases? Do you try to tell families about, hey, manage that a little differently with people who have a history of situations that may arise again, as opposed to somebody who has a little easier, say, to take care of?
Yeah, I think one of the things we've learned through the years is people come to our building expecting that we're going to prevent falls, and then that's not the case. We're going to reduce the falls, or we're going to make them safe when they do fall. If a resident or a family was falling at home, they're going to fall in our facility as well. But we want to reduce those number of falls, but we're not going to be able to prevent them, and we want to set that expectation up front.
Great. What do you do to right now to proactively engage, educate, and communicate with families? Maybe if you can talk a little bit about, is it person-to-person, newsletters, social media, and what kind of standard information do you share with families?
Well, the very first way we communicate with family is through the Circle of Care, because that is a face-to-face meeting with that family. And we try to make those face-to-face, and 85 to 90% are. Of course, we do have those remote families, and so then we will do a conference call or a video conference for them. So after the Circle of Care, we then meet with those families through the MDS process, and that can be every couple of weeks to 30 days, depending on the needs of that resident. Beyond that, we do have a family council meeting, and we bring families in once a month, and we bring a lot of different topics to them, and speakers and information for them for how to take care of their loved one, whether it be at home or how they manage their way through the financial process, or how they manage their way through the medical process. We do also have newsletters that we have from all the various facilities, and one area that we really do want to push now is the social, the internet, and the ways doing over the things with that through that media.
Great. How do you manage these relationships after the discharge, when they move on to other settings, maybe a rehospitalization type situations that arise?
We have a standard where we call the family, communicate with the family 3 times within the first 30 days to find out if there's a need, one, for them to come back to our facility. They might need a short stay to get a little tune-up, so to speak, or to find out where they are. They may have been rehospitalized, and if they were rehospitalized, we want to follow that patient and make sure that they're given the adequate care. One of our big focus points right now, as with a lot of providers, is the rehospitalization rates, whether it comes from our facility directly or whether it comes from the patient after they discharge from our facility. So we have a real focus and effort right now with the hospitals and the doctors and the physicians to look at the rehospitalization of the patients.
What other priorities besides the one we're talking about do you have in your organization right now? And where does family relationship management rank? I know reimbursement and everything like that would probably be up there as well. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the most important thing to us is to have outcomes, good outcomes in our facility. And in order to get the good outcomes, we need to, once we do have the good outcomes, we need to be able to communicate that to the family and to the referral sources and to the hospitals and to the physicians. So the efforts post-discharge continue on. Like I said, we communicate for the first 30 days with that family at least 3 times. And from that point, we can tell if there's any further care needed for that family, for that patient, loved one, or if there's any other way we can assist in their for their care after that point in time.
And then maybe I should have started with this, but can you say a little bit about your organization, Cypress Health Group, as far as what kind of facilities you have, what the makeup is, skilled, assisted, what other kind of communities you have?
Yes, we have 45 facilities in 7 states, and they're all skilled nursing rehab facilities with the exception of 2 assisted living. And we're primarily based in the southeastern United States. Our focus is on post-acute care, rehab type patients.
Where do you think this all goes in the future as far as the relationship, the management of resident families? Where do you see it going into this Facebook, maybe not Twitter, but Facebook, social media type situations, or maybe other technologies where you can bring people in through Skype? Or I don't know. What do you think it's going to look like maybe 5-10 years from now?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're having those debates right now in our own organization, and we're a little bit with the times. We are wireless in our facilities for the most part, and through that, what we're finding is that the patients that are coming now into our rehab facilities all have their own computers, and they want to be able to communicate with their families through those computers, either whether it be email or whether it be some kind of video conferencing. So we're moving heavily towards instituting all that in all of our facilities, looking at the proper equipment that we need, and then getting ourselves into the right social media. You mentioned Twitter and the Facebooks and all of those, and that's something that 2-3 years ago we really weren't focusing on, and we are now putting a big effort in those areas. We use YouTube quite a bit to get a message out to the family members, and then it's a very easy media to use, and so people will go to those sites, and they as time goes on, you're going to see more and more of this.
And finally, how do you differentiate yourself in the marketplace? Maybe through branding, or what niches you're looking for, and to build up your business, maybe through word of mouth, or how are you doing this?
We differentiate ourselves in one of 2 ways. One, we do have some branding. A lot of our facilities are known under the name of Palm Gardens of a certain city. So it's like Palm Garden of Orlando or Palm Garden of Tampa. So there is some branding there. But we also differentiate ourselves by looking at different niches. We do a lot of bariatric care. We do a lot of wound care. And we do the standard rehab that most other places do. But we do look for a niche that a hospital or community may need. And we follow up on that and determine if through a return on investment, whether that makes sense in our buildings, but we do differentiate ourselves through niches.